Stitch Cuties, I'm Brittany with Stitches of Love Quilting, and in this video we're going to make our boo block for our Loads of Fun quilt, and this is block 10 using our embroidery machine. So as always, I have my fabric for my background starch. Don't forget at the beginning you are making your flying geese before you do this, so don't forget that. And I've gone on and laid out all of my threads off to the side in numerical order in which they appear in the pattern. And then off to the side, I've also done the same thing with my pre-fused laser cut applique pieces. I have them in order of how they're mentioned and how I'm going to use them in the pattern. You can use your placement guide and your reverse applique pieces to guide you in numbering them. So with the white thread on the machine, I've gone on and done the first step, which is my placement guidelines and my hoop. And so I am going to simply put my hoop on my Steady Betty. Remember, I turn mine sideways so that it's easy for me to have it on my Steady Betty. So just remember, I'm always working sideways. I'm going to take my super cute fabric and I'm going to put it in place. You can see it's going to be centered in the hoop and it's going past my guidelines. So I'm going to take super cute sew tights and I'm going to use that to secure my fabric right at the edge in the four corners. Make sure you don't get it over where your machine is going to stitch, which is on the exact same lines that are already on there. It's going to stitch over the same guidelines to put our fabric in place, and it's also going to do our first round of applique outlines. So make sure that you don't put your magnet in a silly spot. There we go. And one more. You can also do just 2 in the center instead of 4, but lately as I've been playing with these, I've been doing 4 and really liking it. So again, with our white thread on the machine, we're going to load this for our first round of applique outlines. Alrighty, so we have our first round of applique outlines. I am going to simply remove my sew tights. You just simply slide them apart from each other, and I store them off to the side like so. Just spread them apart. They're so handy, right? I love them. They make, these are the originals. They do make them stronger and less strong depending on what you're doing. I like the original for working with most things, honestly, I've been finding. There we go. So now we're going to iron our pieces on in numerical order. Let me roll up my sleeves to get to work. We are going to start with piece number 1, which per usual is our little rear view mirror. So we'll put that right in place. I'm using my little Cricut mini iron since the, what are they called? The little travel iron, what's it called? I love that iron. Since it's been discontinued and recalled, which has made me so sad. I've really enjoyed this one for in the hoop, and I'm enjoying that M3 Pro for at my sewing machine. So really enjoying both of these new little irons. So just give this a press all the way across. Now we're gonna put on our first little witch leg. I love anything for Halloween that has a witch upside down. There's just something about that that always cracks me up. And so we're gonna put one little leg in place. Now we're gonna do a witch shoe. These are the cutest fabrics. This is a fabric, it's called Pixie Dot. It's made by, I wanna say Timeless Treasures, I forget. We used this, if you remember, all the way back in the day on our YouTube quilt. It was a really fun feature fabric in that quilt. And we've used purple in this quilt. It's really fun. I think that's the only time this appears in this quilt is that one spot. And now we are going to put the top of our little lotion potion. It could be a love potion since it's Stitches of Love. Ba-dum-bump. I'm full of the jokes, aren't I? And now we have the little cork. So cute. There we go. Get that right in place. And now we have our 2 tires. Again, they're slightly different, so make sure you've kept them in the right order and numbered them. So number 18. There we go. And number 19. And then for the next step, we'll continue on with the white thread on our machine for our next round of applique outlines. And this is what you should have in your hoop so far. It doesn't look like much yet, but it's gonna. Alrighty, so we have our second round of applique outlines. We are going to build our second witch's leg. So funny. For Halloween this year, I was really excited, and Mom found a really cute pin on Pinterest where they put along the hedges upside down witches' legs. And then in the pin, they had like all kinds of like 50, 100 pumpkins or something. I didn't do that, but I did do, I think 3 or 4 sets of witches' legs upside down with brooms coming out of my bushes. I forgot what my sign said. Something about come fly with me or something about that. It was really hilarious. It cracked me up. I might have talked about it in one of the other video tutorials that had to do with witches, but it sure did make me happy, I must say. I love decorating at the end of my street or at the end of my driveway. I'd decorate at the end of the street too if they'd let me. So now we're gonna put our little bat wings in place. Super, super cute little bats. Maybe I'll do something with bats this year in my yard when October comes around. I could have them hanging from the trees and like flying. Fall is such a fun time to decorate, isn't it? There we go, our other little bat wing. And now we're gonna do our bat body. It's really fun that we get to build the whole bat in one step. A lot of times, you know, we're doing it like piecemeal, right? Because we're doing it in layers. But this little guy is easy enough to place all at once. You just wanna make sure you get his little points good and in place. And now we're gonna put the bottom or the next part of our lotion potion. Super cute. I love it. Love it, love it. A green potion. Can you imagine that would taste bad? And then we have the next little piece of our truck. Isn't this a cute orange? I can't remember what this fabric is called, but sure is fun. And we're just gonna guide it into place. A little bit more that way. How's it looking down there? Across the top. Oh, I gotta come down. What am I doing? Boop. There we go. Sometimes I lay it down right in place, and other times I'm like, goodness gracious, where are my eyeballs? There we go. Perfecto. So cute. Now we're gonna start building the little arms of our little gnome. He's like, maybe he's a wizard, or is it a man witch? But bump like a man with sandwich. Wow, what's going on with my jokes? Y'all gonna quit watching. All right, so here's what your hoop should look like thus far, and we'll continue on with white thread for the next step. Alrighty, so we're ready for our next round of applique outlines, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there's some really little pieces on this step. So just, we can do it. So I'm gonna start with the little eyeballs. They're little. They're all one piece, which is helpful. So we're gonna put those right in place. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cute though. It's worth the littleness. Now on my little teeth, I didn't take them out of their square yet because I didn't want to lose them before I got to the filming. So what I'm gonna do is just simply cut that little dash and then cut, boop, right there. So now we have both teeth, and you wanna be really careful that you put your fusible side down, and I am going to use my little tool. Let me get that down. Get my paper out of the way. I am gonna use my Alex Anderson tool because I think it's gonna work better than my fingers. So get one in place, and I'm gonna see if I can get both in place at the same time. This is probably the hardest step of the whole quilt, these little bitty pieces. Okay, look at that. Okay, I was dramatic. It wasn't that hard, was it? But this tool, again, the 4-in-1, it's Alex Anderson 4-in-1 Essentials tool, super handy. And I apologize, I have both dogs with me in the studio and the doorbell is ringing, which means obviously we're being robbed or about to die. Not really, it's a delivery. So I apologize for the barking and the doorbell. This is why I should close the studio door. Now we're gonna put the little top of our doohickey on, and it is not a perfect oval, so you do want to make sure you have it the right way. So the one on the left is kind of the squared off side, just to help you. And again, you can use your placement guide when you're numbering to help you with that. Now we're gonna put our bumper on, because our little truck has to have a bumper. Oh my goodness, do you hear the dogs? I apologize. It's probably based on the time of day. It's probably FedEx bringing us some goodies. Oh my goodness, I might have to pause. So sorry. Yep, let's pause. We have a few more pieces. Like nothing ever happened. And like magic, I'm back and the dogs are gone. So we're still on the same step. So sorry about that, everybody. Maybe you have a dog and you understand. I like that they bark when I'm home alone. Well, one's my dog and one's mom's dog. But if I'm at work and they bark, oh my gosh, it just drives you nuts. So we are putting on our little license plate. And remember, it's a white piece, so it's double layered. So I'm just putting both pieces on at one time. You can put one at a time. Just make sure you put both on. So cute. Now we're gonna put a cute little arm, the other side of our little gnome man. What do we want him to be? A wizard? I kind of want him to be a wizard. We should ask the designer what he is. Now we're gonna put our left hand on him, and the flat side goes down. There we go. And this is double lined as well because it's a peach piece. There we go. Super cute. It's starting to look like something. I know I always say that, but once you get to a certain point, it really starts to come together in your hoop and look super cute. Okay, so this is what you should have in your hoop thus far. Let's continue on to the next step with white thread. Okay, so we have our next round of applique outlines. Up first, we're gonna put on our license plate. Oop, the little outside cover. There we go. And now that we're on block 10, I mean, I know that you're like, yep, I got it. But just make sure he's in place before you iron it down. And there you go. Now we're gonna put our little hand on to the right side again. It's a peach fabric, so there are 2 pieces, so you can double line his little arm, his little hand. There we go. And the second one right on top. There we go. Isn't it so nice and quiet now that the dogs have gone into another room? Ah, peace. And now we're gonna put our little beard on. This is 2 pieces. I've gone on and ironed 2 together just because I was showing someone what it's like to double line. So don't worry that you have 2 pieces. You'll put it right on. There we go. Give it a little press. Boop. There we go. So now we'll continue with white thread for the next step. Alrighty, so now it's time to put our little hat on. So cute. Love this fabric. This is an essential dot from Moda, multicolored. Super cute. We also use it in Boo Crew. I guess we just really think of it as a Halloween fabric, don't we? So iron this little guy right in place. Now our next round of applique outlines is gonna give us the little stripes on our hat. Alrighty, so we're almost done ironing on our pieces. We're gonna iron on this super cute little stripes. It lines up perfectly along the bottom of the hat for the orange. Then we'll put the yellow in the middle, just like so. And then green, like this. And now we have one more step, and that is for the little nose. So we'll be back to do that. Alrighty, so we have one more little piece to put on, and that is our nose. So cute, double lined as well. So put one piece, and then your second piece right on top. There we go. Alrighty, so now for the remainder of the steps, you have everything built out in your hoop. We are going to change our thread colors. I'll take my hoop on and off, but for you at your machine, you don't need to take your hoop on and off until the end when it's time to trim, because you are simply going to be changing your thread colors. So first up, we're gonna keep white on for one more step to have our little beard stitch. Alrighty, our beard is stitched, so we're going to do a thread color change to the 1218 silver gray for our rear view mirror and our bumper to stitch. Alrighty, so now our gray is stitched and it is time to change to 1833 pumpkin pie. Yes, your machine does say 1168, but you do want to load the 1833. And you're going to have a bunch of orange stitch. You're going to have the top and bottom of your truck and a little orange stripe on your little gnome wizard will stitch as well. Alrighty, so now all of your orange is stitched and it is time to change to 1005 black, and a whole bunch is going to stitch on this step. So of course your tires and around your license plate will stitch. The little arms and then the black parts of the hat will stitch. The black part or the charcoal part of your bat will stitch. And all of the legs and the shoes of your little upside down witch. Alrighty, a whole bunch of black is stitched. Oh my gosh, like the little feet and the bat and the hat and your license plate and your shoes. Oh my gosh, your tires. Well, I guess I was thinking shoes there. So cute. So now we are going to load the 1815. I know your machine says 1510 lime green. Load your 1815 Japanese fern. And we are going to have a little bit of lime green stitch for us now. Now all your lime green is stitched, looking cute. Now we're going to put on dun 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 true red. And our little bat teeth are going to be stitched. And now our little bat has teeth. So now we are going to load the 1292 Heron Blue, and the lighter part of our little brew right here will be stitched. Now that light blue is stitched, so it is time to put on our medium tawny tan for the little top of our cork to stitch. Alrighty, that little top part of the cork is all done, so we're gonna load, what a beautiful color, the 1095 turquoise, and that little bitty area on our little potion will stitch. Alrighty, that little bottle is all stitched, so now it's time to start working on the little hands and nose of our little guy. So we're going to load the 1225 pastel pink for his little nose and hands to be stitched. Alrighty, we're on our final rayon color until we start doing our accent area. So we are going to load the butterfly gold for this last little yellow stripe on the hat. Alrighty, so now everything is stitched except our little bit of accent lines. So we have the word boo and the exclamation point and then the little eyes on our bat that still need stitched. So we are going to use our filane thread for that. So you will want to change from the 7511 embroidery needle that you stitch with normally on your machine and switch to the universal needle size 100/16. It's got a larger needle eye opening so the thicker thread can pass through more easily. You also want to slow your machine down to the slowest setting. So if you are using the filane thread, that's what you're going to do. If you're not going to use the filane thread, then simply keep everything as is, and you are going to use the second thread color listed, which would be, instead of the avocado, you would use the Japanese fern and rayon, and instead of the filane charcoal gray, you would use the silver gray, or you could use the black if you wanted for the bat's eyes. So change your needle, slow your machine down, and let's load that filane to stitch the word boo. Boo. How fun is that? That looks super cute. Now we are going to load the filane 3625 charcoal gray, and our little bat is going to get 2 little eyeballs. Alrighty, let's take a look from top to bottom. Looking super, super cute. I love it. I just love how that filane just goes bloop. It's really fun, especially on that exclamation. That feels really good. Okay, so you are all done with your block 10 of your Loads of Fun quilt. So up next will be the fall themed with the little scarecrow gnome. That'll be block 11. So I look forward to stitching with you again next month. Happy stitching!